Ти тікаєш, да? Давай. Привет.
When Vitalina rescued a starving fawn in the woods, she never imagined he'd become part of her family. But now, every evening, he shows up on her porch, taps his hoof, and waits for someone to open the door. And it all started with a simple walk. Vitalina was out in the woods with her kids when she spotted a tiny fawn lying in the grass. He was alone, with a wound on his side, barely moving. A mother deer never leaves her baby, so chances were something had happened to her. There was no way he could make it on his own. They gently picked him up and carried him home. Back then, no one knew just how much he'd changed their lives. The family lived close to the forest and had some idea of how to act around wild animals, but they'd never taken care of a deer before. Vitalina started reading everything she could, talking to people with experience, just trying to figure out how to care for him without doing harm. Everyone pitched in, adults and kids. They bottle-fed him, stroked his back, and kept an eye on his every move. That's when they gave him a name, Garashok. And day by day, he got stronger and more confident. Once he got used to people, it was time to introduce him to the rest of animals at home. Garashok met the other pets right away. He especially bonded with the cats, lying down next to them, sometimes even nap curled up beside them. Then he started playing with the kids, never afraid of their touch, always coming closer on his own. He wasn't just living nearby anymore. He became part of their daily life. Over time, the house became a safe, familiar place for him. And that's when it was time to take a step outside. Vitalina began letting Garashok into the garden to help him adjust to being outdoors. He'd step out slowly, looking around, listening closely to every sound. Bit by bit, he grew more comfortable, walking around, resting on the grass, just being outside. He got bigger, stronger, and if he wanted to, he could have gone off into the woods for good. But every evening, he came back, stood by the door, and waited. Garashok made his choice to stay with people. And that's when it really hit them. He was one of them now. Even if to everyone else, it still seemed hard to believe. Whenever people find out Vitalina has a deer living at her house, they almost always ask again. To some, it sounds strange. To others, flat out crazy. But to her, Garashok is family. He's changed their routines, their habits, even the way they look at the simple things in life. Garashok could have left, could have lived wild like any other deer. But he stayed, and in doing so, brought a kind of peace and warmth into that home that's hard to put into words. These days, Vitalina can't imagine a morning without the sound of his steps on the porch, or an evening without that quiet look he gives her through the window.